In recent weeks, the United States has found itself in the throes of a complex policy reversal that has raised serious questions about the administration's approach to economic warfare. Today, we delve into the controversial tariff measures that once aimed to reshape the country's trade balance with China, a strategy that now appears to have backfired in several unexpected ways. This report also previews two pivotal interviews, one with Senator Cory Booker, who will revisit the lengthy address on the subject, and another with Senator Elizabeth Warren, who discusses potential insider trading at the White House. This investigation examines the intricate interplay between stated policy objectives and the underlying economic realities. The trade war initiated by former President Donald Trump was heralded as a bold attempt to counteract China's rising economic influence. In his public statements, Trump claimed that ramping up tariffs was essential to dislodge China from its dominant position in advanced manufacturing, thereby reclaiming American jobs and reinvigorating national prosperity. According to this narrative, imposing high tariffs was a necessary sacrifice, a painful measure to ensure long-term national greatness and economic independence on the global stage. Yet, as the latest developments have shown, the initial objectives have encountered unforeseen complications. Following a relentless increase in tariffs on Chinese imports, a move was taken late Friday by the Trump administration to exempt key categories of technology products, such as smartphones, computers, semiconductors, and other electronics, from some of these tariffs. This measure, widely reported by high-profile news outlets, was intended to offer relief to major American tech companies, including Apple and Dell, by reducing the cost of consumer electronics like iPhones. The exemption extended even to products like modems, routers, and flash drives, goods that are predominantly manufactured outside of the United States. This abrupt shift in policy invites a critical analysis of its underlying rationale. If the primary aim was to force a strategic retreat by China and reinvigorate domestic manufacturing, then allowing exemptions that benefit the advanced electronics sector effectively undermines that strategy. The irony is stark. While the policy was introduced as a means to reshore lost industries, it appears to be paving the way for the very elements it sought to curb. With advanced electronic manufacturing potentially moving back to China under these exemptions, the broader question arises about the economic logic behind such a reversal. Is the restoration of domestic jobs truly the guiding principle, or are other, less publicly acknowledged, factors at play? A closer look at the economic fallout reveals that the policy has exacted a heavy price on the global stage. As the tariffs were ramped up, market confidence plummeted, leading to a dramatic fall in stock markets. American savers witnessed a sharp decline in the value of their retirement accounts, while foreign investors began dumping U.S. bonds, a measure that has traditionally been considered the safest investment backed by the government. This erosion of trust in the U.S. dollar further calls into question the viability of using aggressive tariffs as a tool for long-term economic rejuvenation. The market's reaction suggests that investors and global financial institutions are no longer confident in the administration's ability to manage the economy effectively. Further complicating the picture is the manner in which the administration has handled exemptions to these tariffs. High-profile companies like Apple have received carve-outs from the harsher measures, a decision that appears to hinge on financial contributions and politically favorable relationships. Notably, Tim Cook, the CEO of Apple, who has been closely associated with the Trump administration through significant donations and symbolic gestures such as high-profile dinners at Mar-a-Lago, benefited from this policy revision. This scenario raises fundamental concerns about the principles guiding such policy decisions. Instead of acting as a champion for American industry at large, the administration seems to be engaging in a systematic exchange, granting exemptions in return for political and financial support. Such an arrangement calls into question the integrity of the entire tariff strategy, suggesting that the real beneficiaries of the policy may not be American workers or small businesses, but rather the elite circles able to influence high-level economic decisions. The ramifications of this self-serving approach extend far beyond the corridors of corporate power. While multinational corporations are cushioned by their ability to offer lucrative contributions, everyday Americans and small business owners are left to bear the brunt of the economic fallout. The soaring tariffs and subsequent market destabilization have put countless families at risk of financial ruin. The promises of job creation and economic resurgence appear hollow in the face of a collapsing stock market and a growing distrust in the nation's economic policies. For those who rely on steady income and whose livelihoods depend on a stable economic environment, the consequences are both immediate and deeply personal. Adding to the controversy, there are emerging allegations of insider trading related to this policy turnaround. Reports indicate that shares were purchased and call options executed mere minutes before announcements on tariff adjustments were made public. Under ordinary circumstances, such actions would trigger an SEC investigation due to their potential for constituting illegal market manipulation or insider trading. However, given the unprecedented nature of the administration's handling of economic policy, where key agencies such as the SEC, DOJ, and even elements within the legislative branch appear to be under significant political influence, the prospects of a transparent investigation grow dim. The confluence of rapid policy reversals and favorable market maneuvers suggests a concerning pattern, where regulatory bodies may be hampered by conflicts of interest that ultimately shield those responsible from accountability. As this situation continues to unfold, the broader implications for American democracy and economic policy come into sharp focus. The notion of petitioning the king, in which those with the financial clout secure preferential treatment through contributions and favors, seems to be finding new expression in the realm of national economic policy. This is not merely an isolated policy misstep but part of a systemic issue where the administration's priority is self-preservation. The troubling reality is that as long as the system rewards those who can afford to buy their way out of economic hardship, the average American is left in a perpetually vulnerable position. Before we conclude, it is important to highlight the importance of ongoing investigations into these practices. Both federal and state authorities, including the SEC, FBI, DOJ, and individual state attorneys general such as New York Attorney General Letitia James, have the responsibility to meticulously examine these occurrences. The stakes are extremely high: millions of dollars, the financial security of retirees, and the integrity of the U.S. financial system hang in the balance. Failure to rigorously pursue these investigations risks not only further economic damage but also a profound erosion of public trust in the nation's democratic institutions. As we await more clarity on these issues, two highly anticipated interviews will provide additional insights into the administration's economic policies and potential misconduct. Senator Cory Booker is set to discuss in detail the implications of a 25-hour speech that dissected the economic warfare initiated by Trump. Meanwhile, Senator Elizabeth Warren will offer her perspective on the possibility of insider trading within the corridors of the White House, a subject of urgent concern for anyone invested in the country's financial stability. In tandem with this in-depth analysis, it is also essential to acknowledge the role of our broadcast sponsors. The Merchants Payments Coalition brings attention to the hidden fees imposed by credit card companies, fees that can cost an average family over $1,100 annually. Their advocacy for the Bipartisan Credit Card Competition Act aims to restore fair competition and significantly reduce these burdens on American consumers. Equally, Uplift Desk, a leader in ergonomic office solutions, underscores the necessity of a healthy work environment in today's sedentary culture, offering customizable desk options that promote better posture and productivity. These sponsorship messages, while separate from the core investigative narrative, serve as a reminder of the multifaceted challenges facing American society today. In conclusion, the evolving story of Trump's trade war and its aftermath is a stark illustration of a policy framework that seems increasingly geared toward protecting the interests of a select few rather than serving the broader American population. The reversal of tariffs and the strategic carve-outs granted to powerful corporations like Apple, coupled with the alleged maneuvers preceding these announcements, paint a picture of an administration that privileges personal gain over national good. As we stand at this critical juncture, the imperative for robust oversight and accountability has never been clearer. Only through sustained investigative efforts and the unyielding pursuit of transparency can we begin to restore confidence in our economic policies and, ultimately, in the democratic process itself. This investigation serves as a call to action for all stakeholders, from lawmakers and regulatory bodies to the everyday citizens whose livelihoods are imperiled by these decisions. The evidence demands that we scrutinize not only the stated intentions behind these policies but also the real-world impacts that, in many cases, have proven disastrous. With the forthcoming insights from Senators Booker and Warren, we anticipate further illumination of these complex issues, urging immediate and meaningful reform.